Okay, so we're going to go through the three different types of production, or three different methods of production. And the first one is job production. This is one-off products designed for the specific needs of the customer. So, for example, when Kate Middleton got a dress done, this was completely job production. It was a one of a kind. So one or two people, or like a group of people, would have just made that dress. They weren't made any more. It wouldn't be on a production line. And obviously, that's going to be really expensive. Now, when you get your hair cut, you could argue that's a job production as well. It's not like you go down a whole assembly line of haircutting where one person will do one bit and then the next person will do the next. It's one person doing a specific job. Okay, learn that definition. Okay, so we've got to say what's good and bad about job production. So we said already, job production is when you make a one-off product and it's specific to the needs of the customer. So the first kind of good thing about this is, because the worker's more likely to be skilled, because they're just doing the whole project themselves, it's more likely to be high quality. That's what some people say. Some people say it might not be high quality, but that's what you can say in the exam. The second thing is the advantage is people are going to be well motivated. Now the workers are going to be well motivated because they get to keep on doing all aspects of the product and they get to have their own skill involved in it because it's unique. The last thing you can say is, now this is really important, customers get exactly what they want. So if you get a dress made for you, like the other day I bought a suit, I probably already said this in one of the other videos, and when I was buying this suit, I had to pick between 2 or 3 different sizes. I don't have any choice. If I had it properly made for me, I'd get exactly what I wanted. But obviously the downsides of this, of me getting this thing completely made for me, would be it'd be massively expensive for 2 reasons. One, because there's really skilled workers, and the second reason is if I'm getting exactly what I want, it's going to take ages, and if it takes time, then it's obviously going to cost money. What have I got down here? Oh, yeah, there we are. So it's expensive and takes a long time to make. That's the good things and bad things about job production. Another bad thing is if it takes a long time to make, the business can't make many. If they can't make many of the products, it's really hard to therefore make lots and lots of money. So an example of that is if you were one of those people who made like cakes, specific cakes just for a customer, it's not like you can make 1 million in a year. You're going to have to only make a few. So therefore it's hard to make lots and lots of money. Right, this next one is batch production. Now luckily at GCSE, batch production and flow production, they'll let you use either of them for the same point. But the main point of batch production is when you make many similar items and they're produced together. They might still be produced on an assembly line, like the one below, where obviously things go along the assembly line. But the difference between batch production and flow production is they might make maybe, say these are pies, they might make all the way up to here, this lot. These all could be like mince pies. And then the ones over here could be like steak and ale pies, and these could be chicken pies. You get the idea. So they can keep on changing it. So that's what batch production is. Right, at GCSE they see flow production as the same as batch production, so they don't really see a difference. Now some people call it maths, but I call this one flow. So one of you might come out of the exam saying they did flow production, another one might come out saying they did batch production, and both of you will be right. But the difference between batch and flow is, for us anyway, you don't need to know this, but it's very similar to batch production, but only one type of product is made, and it's done on a big assembly line. So with batch production, they might make loads and loads of, say, Twixes. So I'm going to write Twix on there. Alright, you get the idea. And then once they've made loads of Twixes, they might switch it and make loads of Mars bars. Right? And then after that, they might switch it and make loads of Galaxies. Right? That's batch production. Flow production is when they just keep on making, like for example, say Cadbury's cream eggs, they keep on making, I don't know why I've done them square. If we're doing Cadbury's cream eggs, look at all these circles, they keep on making the same ones again and again and again, they don't change anything, and that's what flow production is. At the next slide, now at the top I put batch production, but we're going to say flow as well. So this is the advantages for flow and batch production. Right, so the first one is, the advantages for it is you can make loads. So you can make lots and lots of products. And if you can make lots of products, obviously you're going to make more money out of it. Right, the second good thing about flow or batch production is you can use machinery. Now machinery can be really cheap, so therefore you're going to make much more money out of it. Machinery can be really expensive to make, but it can be really cheap to make it again and again and again. So once you bought the machinery, you can make it for much cheaper. Right, the third thing is you can use low skilled workers. Like if you remember any of those videos I've showed you, the workers could probably work out how to do their job maybe after about an hour of being trained. that means you don't have to pay them very much, so that's ideal for you. Because obviously the job they're doing isn't skilled, they're just kind of helping out with machines. But there are downsides. The first downside is these workers may become bored. That's a D, so I was meant to be a B. Bored. Now, if they're bored, they're not going to actually work as hard. And the reason why they're bored is having to do the same monotonous thing with no skill again and again and again. The second big problem with it is customers don't get exactly what they want. Okay, so is there any more disadvantages? What else would be? I suppose one extra downside is you could say maybe the cost of the machinery in the first place. And that will do. So we've got good things and bad things. And that's all you really need to know. Right, this is basically the only question they ever ask you on job, batch or flow. And I can't tell you how easy it is, right? So they always give you a bit of text at the beginning, and you've got to read the text and think, well, here we are. We're talking about Morgan Motor Company, and they take 3 months to make each car, and they're basically doing it individually. So if they're doing that individually, then of course they must be doing job production. So that will get you the 1 mark just for saying job production. Then the next question will say one good thing and one bad thing for individually produced cars. So obviously, let's think about here. There's no advantage in saying 2 good things and 2 bad things. It's much better to really explain your one. So your first good thing for an advantage of it is customers get what they want, and it's unique. So I'd say that's 1 point, right? But the downside is it will take a long time, and because of this, because it takes a long time, it will therefore cost a lot of money. And that's it. So you had 1 good thing and 1 bad thing. Now the key thing here is read the question. It says 2 customers. So don't start saying good things or bad things to the business in this example. You've got to say for customers.